you have the search button. The search button, here the data role is of the button. I wanted an icon onto my search buttons, hence I have data icon is equal to search. And finally, I wanted to go to another page called as mobiles display, where I would be showing information of what the mobile is. This is the mobile, this is the company name, and right now if I go into my mobile display.mobile, I only have 3 items for the display, because there are a lot number. I can also write more, but for the demo purpose I have just taken up 3 columns, that is the model name, the memory, and the camera. I am iterating over each item in the model, and hence the list is getting displayed. Again, if you see, it is playing the role of a list view, and here I have a data filter set to true. So if I type Sam and I press enter, I have the filter ready even without me writing the logic for the filtering. It is done by jQuery. So this is something really good out of the box, and your view is back. That's it. Okay, so this is how I navigate. I go home, I click on mobile, I select the company, I select the features, I click on search, and I get my list. So it is a very good view as compared to your desktop view. Okay, this is some problem because I guess, yeah, so now that was something else. I need to go back. Okay, that is because it was not capable of running right now. It's not running. Then you have this about view. Okay, I switched back. Let me go back. The emulator sometimes renders, sometimes does not render. You don't need to worry about the logic. The logic is in place. There might be some problems with the emulator, so it's absolutely okay. You can go back, you switch to your mobile view, and here you see it. So this is about Electrostore page, and I have the about.mobile.html out here. I have the heading, I have my para, and finally the contact form, which is very neatly rendered within the width and the height of the browser. Complaints or suggestions, these are radio buttons grouped. So if you see the markup for contact, I have my input for the name, I have my input for my email ID, I have my input for the contact number, and finally I have grouped the radio buttons into a field set, and they play role of a control group because I do not want them to be scattered, but I want them to be gathered. So the margins and the spaces have been removed, and there is a neat layout of the radio buttons. And finally, there is another text input for your notes or your suggestions, and you have the submit button. So this is how a simple application, a web application which was designed for the desktop using jQuery Mobile and ASP.NET MVC4. I have not touched the business logic at all. I have just worked on the UI. It's easily very much possible to scale up your applications to the mobile-based applications. Okay, so I have another 5 minutes of the session, and to work on these demos, these are my set of references. A good book, WordPress Pro, jQuery Mobile, and another good book for MVC4, ASP.NET MVC4 in action. Some of the best sites, and that's it. Thank you so much. So I am done with my session, and this is the view.
Sandhya, for the insightful presentation. Let's quickly take up the questions now. I have assigned you a few questions. Please read out them and their answers so that our users may listen to your commendable insights.
Yeah, so I have a question here, like, is there any need of adjusting layout according to the screen size of the mobile? This is not required actually, because if you see very carefully in your ASP.NET MVC4 application, there is a tag called as viewport meta tag. If I go to your layout.chtml, I have my meta tag viewport.